Hello, friends, and good morning, afternoon, evening to any one of you. So, now we are going to have a quick information update on Visual Studio and .NET and also its ecosystem. I mean, there it should be there because, yeah, I will fix it later. Okay, in this episode, I will discuss about SQL Server Management Studio version 21. And this release, the newest release, is joining Visual Studio installer installation. So you will not have a separate installation anymore because it is now being managed in one big umbrella of Visual Studio installer, and it's been there since version 21. But for the Visual Studio installer itself, this integrated installation of 2017, 2019, and now 2022 is already there since Visual Studio 2017. I think it is starting from not the original release, I believe. I may be wrong, but at least from 2019, the one that I have now in my machine, I have 2019, 2022, and 2022 preview. And then we have new citizens of SQL Server Management Studio version 21. Next on the queue is .NET 10.0 Preview 5. And also we have a new release of .NET Aspire. It is now coming in 9.3. I know version 9.3 is not quite new. Yeah, you'll see that it has been released for more than a week. But I have to discuss this, of course, because this news update is every 2 weeks. So it is still within the time frame. This SSMS version 21, I just found out from the video from MS Build, this New Year's MS Build. And I have to say that I will bring you lots of goodness in the MS Build because uh, I just realized that some of the videos on the MS Build 2025 has a very good updates, very good thing, and somehow it is a bit buried within a video that is not discussing SSMS at all. So you will find this discussion about SSMS version 21 on a video that's called How Visual Studio is created for the user. So basically that is the idea. So how Microsoft Visual Studio team is interacting to get a nice feedback and going back and forth, have a nice communication within the user or within the Microsoft itself and the external of Microsoft, such as me. And I am also sure you will be the user as well. You are the user, right? So now let's start this news update. Right here is Visual Studio Installer. You see that I have more than 1% of Visual Studio. I used to have three, so 2017, 2019, and 2022, but now I have to say goodbye to 2017 for now. Not because I hate it, but I'm running out of space. So, but at the same time, I think I should be able to leave Visual Studio 2017 out because it is not supported anymore. Those features inside the Visual Studio 2017 itself are not supported, such as the old version of .NET Core, which is now we call it .NET, and other things as well, such as old version of C++ compilers, old version of the support for CMake, for example, and other things such as old version of Python. Those kind of things, those kind of unsupported features, to me, is hard to maintain anymore, especially now that we have 2022. And I think we will also going to have a new version of Visual Studio, the next major version after 2022. My best guess it will be released on the November this year, at the same time when we are going to have .NET 10.0 release, which is the LTS version. So, what is the reason that I made this into a news and update? It is newsworthy for me because this guy, the SQL Server Management Studio, previously it is installed separately outside the normal this Visual Studio installer. So the ecosystem is completely separated. But now we see it is part of the ecosystem, or or being a citizen inside the Visual Studio installer. The nice thing about this SSMS version 21 is also the first version that is using Visual Studio 2022 as the shell. You'll see this guy is, yeah, the splash screen is also has the same theme as 2022, as you'll see if I launch 2022, is also the same. I'm going to close this for now, and let's go to this SSMS version 21. The look is somehow the same, but when you are going to connect, I don't know why it is called preview, but it is running. You see, this is my local instance of SQL Server Developer Edition version 2022. 2022, by the way, is also has the internal version number of SQL Server 16.0, as we see here. And right now I'm using the Windows authentication, which means that I don't have to enter my password. But you can also configure it later. Now that we can have SSMS version 21 as part of Visual Studio, the administration, the installation, and also the experience will also be in line with Visual Studio installation. So if you look at the about, yeah, we'll still see the old look and feel. You may wonder, how are we going to prove that this is actually Visual Studio 2022? We'll try to see on the task manager. I have a quick tip for you. So let's go to this guy, SQL Server. Where is it? There you are. Management Studio. And how to check? Okay, let's go to the details of this guy. So we have here sms.exe, and let's try to open file location sms.exe. Yeah, we are now here. Visual Studio shell.ui.internal. This should have version 17. So let's see. There should be a properties here. Okay, it is associated to JetBrains.py, the .NET decompiler. But let's not worry about that. Let's try to look at the version, and you will see that it is version 17.14. So you will have the same 17.14 of Visual Studio 2022. Okay, this is for the Aspire 9.3. I'm going to look the official channel when you are going to look for any kinds of information about Microsoft developer or software development tools. Let me look for any video. There you are. How we build software loved by millions of developers. So this is the video that I mentioned that I missed. And the nice thing about this is showing that now you have a SSMS that use, where is it? Okay, just look at the thumbnail. If it is too long, oh, there you are. The release and features of SMS 21 built on Visual Studio 2022. So this proves that, but to me, I prefer to prove it directly at the file, the Visual Studio shell .dll. If it is version 17.14, then we are sure that it is the same version of 17.14 trains of releases. It may have a different cadence of releases. I mean, this SSMS, will not have the velocity of the exact updates of Visual Studio, the IDE, not the SSMS shell, not the shell that is used by this guy. So there may be some updates, but you have to treat them separately. I mentioned about having the same experience of Visual Studio installer, including the workload. As you will see, the in the installer here, if you click modify, you will have the same UI. These are the workloads. Currently, it has four, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you want to fine tune it, you will have it in the individual component. The nice thing about this is, so you'll see that it has support for analysis services, reporting services, and migration. Honestly, is this SSIS? I don't know it yet, but I promise to have a separate video on that to tell you that, or to verify, or to ensure that, yeah, okay, this one is the SSIS, or there should be separate installation. I still don't know yet. Well, maybe we could try to look to this guy. Let's see. So we have databases management. No, if it's too long, I may have to skip it for now. We have, yeah, resource governor. Hmm. Was oh well. Reports. No, 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 not this one. I don't know why it seems hanging. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, something wrong with this guy. Yeah, this guy is somehow hanging. Let's just keep it. Hopefully, there should be another update. I hope. This is some kind of bug that is hard to reproduce. I'm not clicking nasty things. Okay, let's just move on. So this is the joy of having a. I know this is recorded, but there can be many things, bad things happen during your recording. Well, okay, let's just. I could not close this one. Okay, the next one on the menu is the .NET 10 PV5. Uh, this is I don't know. Yeah, this is the oh no, I, I I'm afraid it will kill the wrong process. Just enters this one. There you go. Bye bye. dot.net/core. You see, there's a Camtasia. Yeah, that is the app I used to record this video. I suggest you to use it because it is easier to use than, because I need to be able to create videos as quick as possible. So yeah, nice thing about the OBS, actually, you will have the ability to directly stream, but I'm not going to use for this kind of tutorial or learning videos, because to me Having the ability to deliver my video quickly, I know that it's not perfect, but as soon as possible to deliver to you all is more important than having a nice crafted. Okay, let's just go to this all .NET version. You will see that we have now .NET 10 preview 5, and let's look at the release notes. To me, this is starting to show that it is very nice to have this, but I should warn you that this release preview 5 is not ready for production release. Usually Microsoft will tell you if it is ready for a production release if you see that they will have a release candidate, for example. These are not production release. So you are not supported if you have some problems, error, exception, or whatever, or bugs. But they expect you to, of course, report if it is a legit bug or reproducible bug, for example. Again, this release, this preview 5 is not a production release. Okay, let's dive into the. Oh, this is latest releases. No, release note preview 5, and okay, these are the list of packages. Let's see. Okay, latest release. Okay, c-readme.markdown. Yep, we now see. Let's discuss as quick as possible. First, the one that we know from generally. Let's discuss the C#. We will have a user-defined component assignment operators. A plus equals B is also the same as A is equal to A plus B. These features enable type authors to implement component assignment. Previously, compound assignment is only for integer. You know, the A plus equals only between integers. Right now, for any kinds of type, you can start to implement your own component assignment, and this is the good thing actually. Okay, let's look at the actual. Okay. C# 14 was new. C# 14, yes, of course, yes, it is supported. But I think the correct language is C# 14 is closely related or closely linked to .NET 10. This is slightly generalized. You have session members, such as you can now start to have properties that behave like extension method. So this is why they call it members, because properties are also members, right? And not just properties, you already have methods. Members of an object are commonly two: the properties and the methods. We already have extension method. Right now, you can have extension properties. Let me know if you want me to discuss this in detail in the comment. Because right now, the running tutorials video or education video such as Belajar.net, it is in Indonesian language currently, but you can start to set to have a auto translate to English. The finished translation is the episode 1, and the other episode is on the way. Actually, I have done some translation on episode 2 and 3, but I'm still trying to really check if the translation are having the correct context, for example, because I could not ensure or fully trust the translation of YouTube. One thing for sure, why I'm not sure, because English are not my main or daily language, not my native language. So I may have say something that not my intention, but say something with the wrong accent, wrong spelling, and so on and so on. But if I could finish all those episodes to be translated, it is also a good thing for me to have some kind of exercise, especially in terms of exercise for my written English, not just speaking, of course. But yeah, you will see later. And of course, I apologize that the session is very slow because I was starting to have not just weekly frequency of Belajar Donate, but also twice a week. I'm going to go back to once a week because I see that the feedbacks are coming, but not the way that I expect. And you'll see in the short time, I think within a week or two, you will see that I'm going to announce in the community section of my channel that I'm going to start to have a weekly video. But for some kind of topic, especially a topic that is more general and most people know it, such as ASP.NET Core, Razor, or MVC, I will make it maybe twice a week. But other than that, especially if you remember that I'm going to have a spin-off of my Belajar.NET to discuss parallel async and task related topics separately into one big concurrent programming inside the .NET, that will be different. It may be once a week or twice a week. It can be leaning to more like once a week because I have to be careful on creating that kind of topics. I have experienced many strange things before, and I have to assume that in order to be able to deliver to you the intent of educating you and also myself as well, that kind of gotchas has to be minimized, has to be, you know, not just minimized, but also it has to be explainable. Like there is a good reason why this kind of gotcha happened, and hopefully I could iron all of that, including the fact that we have intermittent problem on list of T. Okay, that's it. Let's just be happy because, as always, every time Microsoft is releasing new version of .NET, we'll have a tons of goodness coming to us, including these SSN members. And these features actually has been requested about a year after we have extension method since .NET 3.5. Remember the first release of Link in .NET 3.5? That is the birth of implementation or the first release of extension method. And almost a year after that, after most developers are enjoying having extension method, they keep asking for extension properties or some other guys called extension anything. But I know extension anything is not possible, so we should be uh, we should be clear enough and not to expect too much because in terms of the object, you can always say methods and properties, for example. But honestly, this extension syntax thing is a bit confusing for now. I'm still trying it. I know that the .NET 10 has not been released; it's still in preview 5. But these feature essential members you can try in this. I think it is in since preview 2, if I'm not mistaken. You can try it, and if you find some bug, just don't hesitate to create a minimum repo as much as you can, and then if it is reproducible or the certainty of the reproducibility is so high and it start to annoy you, you just create a new issue on the Roslyn repo. That is github.com/.net/Roslyn. So there, and you could start create a new issue and make it as bug report a bug. So they have already created a nice template for you to fill in, so that should be quick to submit a valid issue or bug report. Okay, the next thing is, let me see. The next thing is Aspire 9.3. This is a good thing. I know the changes are not much, but to me, the changes or the new additional features are not many, but it is worthy. So let's go back to the video that I was presented, I think 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. So let's look at the date. Oh, 3 weeks ago on May 20. So I had some nice collaboration between me and Microsoft to present what is the new features on .NET Aspire 9.2, or what's new in .NET Aspire 9.2. It is in Indonesia, but you can try to turn on the translation. But I don't know. I cannot guarantee because I'm not the one that owns the channel. Microsoft owns this Microsoft Reactor channel. So if you have something to say about the translation, please comment, or if you are one of my connection on LinkedIn, let me know and I will pass your feedback to Microsoft, and of course I will also give the credit back to you as you are the one that find the translation error. So the nice thing about 9.2, okay, we will have resource grab, pause and resume on log, and the support for UTC. So Duguan UTC means in English is support for UTC on the display of the log, and also telemetry cardinality. If you want to have a full list of the Aspire 9.2 what's new, you can go to this link, or okay, let me open it to you. You can go to this learn.microsoft.com official docs of the Aspire, and then open this what's new in Aspire 9.2. I already have some sample app. I just new up the Aspire starter and make some samples like adding SQL Server database, but it is running on container as you will see here. I already have a Docker desktop, and this is the image of the SQL Server, and these are the running containers as you see here. So I make some samples that this SQL Server is also using a persistent volume. You see, I have here, and this is the volume SQL volume used in this container. Okay, and the code is also available. I will give the link on this video description, so don't worry about that. And I'm going to run it. I'm opening Source Studio. This is the sample of that. Sorry, the sample code of that Microsoft Reactor video. And I'm going to run it. Hopefully, should not that slow to start because I already compiled it. You see, Having the persistent SQL Server database instant running, it gives you very quick way to ensure that you have the database to be persisted. And you'll see in 9.2 we have resource grab. Unfortunately, you don't have a context menu. This is the context menu of Microsoft Edge, not the context menu of this resource grab. And also, if you go back to the table, SQL Server DB and Postgre have the ability to create a database if your ad database doesn't have the existing database. And now in 9.3, let's go back to the web. And in 9.3, you have that kind of support. So let's see, is this deployment and publish? Breaking change, no. They have 9 seconds. So breaking change is a heartbreak. Okay, so app model enhancement, faking state. Okay, these are, yeah, this is what I mean. MySQL add database now creates the database. So there's a new behavior in 9.3, add database. As you'll see, the add database is new in 9.3. It is small enhancement, but I think it's also welcome enhancement. And there are many such as support for YARP integration. YARP means that yet another reverse proxy, and I think Microsoft has it, and it is open source. Let me try to open it. Okay, the MS YARP. Yeah, we have a YARP, yet another reverse proxy. Okay, they have now version 1.0 first release, but it's a bit outdated. 2021. Okay, YARP is a project. Okay, let's try to open this reverse. So this is a nice thing about this open source project is you can have reverse proxy to serve your web app, and you can also use this not just for the .NET Core app but also other kinds of apps actually, as long it is HTTP or web app. This is just for reverse proxy. I'm not going to discuss what is exactly reverse proxy, but it's nice to have this kind of support from Aspire to support this reverse proxy. Yeah, I think this is a good addition or welcoming features, I think. Okay, the way to add this is also very straightforward. Builder.add yarp API gateway. This is the name of the reverse proxy instance with the config file of yarp.json, reference of basket service with a catalog service, reference to your I think your other web app. So you have some example here. Basically, you can read on your own. Okay. The other nice thing, and it is quite surprising, you will have support for GitHub Copilot directly inside the dashboard. So I will enlarge this. As you see, these are the apps and also database resources that you have. And then you have a frame of GitHub Copilot inside the dashboard. Next one is remember your filter settings. Okay, you have uninstrumented resources now appear in traces. I don't know how to display this yet. The other nice thing as well is resource context menu. You see, you will have this nice context menu when you right click. Right now in 9.2 you don't have it. So in order for me to try to quickly demo to you, okay. Initially I was trying to update this into 9.3, but it takes more than half hour to exactly updated correctly. So I think I'm going to close this for now. Okay, I'm going to open a new comment prompt here. Let's go to my D drive. Like I said before, my C drive is nearly full. I only have 36 gigabytes of bytes free, and it is nearing dangerous because I have 64 gigabytes of memory, and this will end up quickly if I run too many heavy apps at the same time, because it tries to have some kind of heavy paging goes back and forth between the apps and the C drive, because this is the main drive that has Windows and also the temporary files and also the paging files. So I'm going to use the okay. Before that, I'm going to show you that I already have this template installed. The Aspire template, and these are the command to see or to check. -u is uninstalled, but as long as you are not specifying any kinds of the tool or templating to be uninstalled, you should be okay. By default, it will display the template that you installed. So let's remove the verbosity, and I have now 9.3 version of Aspire template. Let's try to use the Aspire starter app. Yeah. Um, Maybe let me see. Okay, right down in the. I'll use this folder. Um, create a new subfolder. Let's make it Aspire 93. Then okay, .NET new Aspire starter. Give it a name. Aspire 93. So this will create a new solution and sample projects as the starting app of Aspire. It will take some time, especially if the packages haven't been downloaded, and it tries to restore. While we are waiting for this to finish, this 9.3, as always, is actually in sync with the release of major version of .NET. So you will have .NET Aspire 10. Blah 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 later after it is released. But the nice thing about Aspire 9.3, you can still have compatibility with Aspire of Aspire 8 that is usually in sync or aligned with .NET 8. But you will miss the nice thing about resource grab and so on, so on, so on. So I suggest you to start to move to Aspire 9, at least Aspire 9.2. Especially if you are just starting to learn Aspire, you should start learning from Aspire 9.2 or directly 9.3, like the one that okay, it is finished. So let me see. Oh, you have a git ignore. My bad. My bad. I should keep it on a separate folder. Yeah, this is my fault. Okay, let me try to open it directly. Sample Aspire. Okay, I think I just use Visual Studio for this one. I changed my mind. I will wait. What? Something is okay. And I'm going to copy all those. Oh, wait. I'm going to copy all of this. Maybe not copy, to cut and then paste it on Aspire 923. So should be here. Okay, Aspire we have now Aspire 923, and I'm going to open this. I'm going to use 2022 just once. Now we have API service, app host, service default, and web. By default, this web is also a Blazor app, and this is a .NET API, ASP. Sorry, not .NET API, ASP.NET Core API, and as usual, this is the starting project, and this service default will add the necessary component that you have. And let's try to run this. We'll use HTTPS, of course. By default, it will run on my default browser as I have configured on my Visual Studio. It will open a new instance of Microsoft Edge. Yep, everything should go well. I'm not yet adding any kinds of database or SQL Server or Redis or whatever. Okay, those two are running. And let's go to grep. So web front end depends on API service. And now we have context menu. Yay! This is very nice. Not just that, but oh yeah, we now have GitHub Copilot. Chat with GitHub Copilot. Yeah, I know this may be a little bit silly, but to me it's also very important. Like if you have a GitHub Copilot account, I know I think the free version is only 1,000 or 2,000 token. I don't remember directly, but basically you can use it during your development time, and I think this is very useful. So let's try to summarize resource, for example. Explain the current state of my app resource. Both main resource app service and development are type project and currently in running state. This is nice. So yeah, this is why I told you this is a worthy addition, worthy new features, not worthy. And I personally welcome this, but let me know if you don't like this or if you have some bad experiences already done something or many things against this GitHub Copilot chat. I, I will try to answer your concern and keep the feedback coming, of course. And let's try other thing as well. I think many features are not shown here. I mean, the the new features listed in here, not all is directly shown. If you want to see me demo this matrix pause warning, I have to keep the app running for more than 10 minutes and you'll see that it is easy to pause and resume and many things. Okay, we have friendly names, deployment and publish, and so on. This is all related to code. And of course, I have to do some extra preparation as you see it at Kubernetes environment and so on so on. Okay, that concludes this was new video for today and for this week, these 2 weeks. And let me know if you have some questions, comments, whatever. I mean, related to this video. I know the sample is very simple, but if I want to migrate my 9.2 samples to this 9.3, that will take more than half hour, and I don't believe that is completely finished because all of the versions, all of the NuGet has to be realigned to ensure that I have a correct support for 9.3 after it's being migrated from 9.2 to this latest version. But there should be a tool to ease these migrations, and unfortunately, I don't know whether the tool already works well or not because again, I haven't tried to use that tool because if you want to migrate from 9.1 to 9.2, most of the time that migration is actually a mechanical, like you replace the version of the, for example, version of the NuGet that is being used, like, where is it? NuGet that's being used, for example, you see in the app host. Yeah, this actually supported by having a package reference inclusion like this one, aspire.hosting.sp host version 931, and then you can add the SDK name. If you went back to 9.2, that would be quite easy for now. 921, you can replace it 9.31.1, the one that I have right now. But other kinds of package reference, you have to align and synchronize again. There are maybe some breaking changes, and honestly, I don't remember all of the breaking changes, and I haven't tried it yet. As you will see in this broken heart icons, breaking changes in ASP.NET Aspire 9.3, it goes into a separate section. I know it's not that much like at Azure SQL Server assign a dedicated user assignment identity as administrator. Just the default SKU used for creating it's more like Azure SQL change, remove publisher API, health change, health check changes in 9.3. Okay, not much hopefully. Well, let's see about the binary incompatible. Well, I don't see any. Oh, maybe this one. Okay, remove publisher API. Remove publisher API. Let's see, remove publisher API. Okay, we have removal of Docker Compose publisher, Kubernetes publisher, Azure publisher. It's being replaced by a new resource type that provides a more composable. Yeah, this one is big because previously you can use these APIs and 9.3 you cannot use it. So you have to replace it with a new resource type. Like resource in the sense that like you add Redis, add SQL Server database, add Postgre, add MariaDB, and now add Docker Compose environment, add Kubernetes environment, add Azure environment. Okay. Reason for change: the change simplifies the publishing process by consolidating functionality into resource type with unified publishing mechanism. For more information, see the GitHub issue. Okay, let's check on the GitHub issue. There you are, refactor publisher concept into dual publisher plus complete environment model. Wow, this is so big. I mean, replacing all of this already working API with resource type It's like you are having a large refactor. Yeah, this is very big. It's completely a breaking change. Yeah, I think this should be easier if you start learn ASP.NET Aspire or .NET Aspire today. You just go directly to 9.3 release. Hopefully, we are not going to have another breaking changes. I've seen this guy before. This guy is actually a Microsoft MVP, and he often contribute back to Microsoft in the ASP.NET Core repo, Aspire repo. This guy is very brilliant, very smart. And this guy is also David Fowler is one of the distinguished engineer at Microsoft. Very smart too. To consider outputting the files in different paths. Sign. Is this guy part of the? No. Oh, he's now working at Microsoft. Okay, cool. So looks like this guy is not Microsoft MVP anymore. I may be wrong, but usually when you are within this member group of .NET/Microsoft, you are Microsoft employee. Usually it's like that. Yeah. Okay, you can start to learn this on your own. Go to .NET Aspire issues, blah blah blah. But this is the documentation repo, not the actual Aspire repo. So the actual where is it? Breaking change. These are the actual pull requests. Oh, 40 files. Change. I will not waste more of your time. So yeah, that's it. So this complete the news and updates for this week and maybe these 2 weeks. I may see you on the next week if there is a another news that's worthy for me to discuss, and maybe not just worthy but also if that kind of announcement from Microsoft really makes me have to explain to you what's going on, because maybe it will change some direction of some .NET features or maybe something else. I don't know. But let's see. Actually, I'm waiting for the progress on the next major version of Visual Studio. I haven't got any updates yet on that. I'll try to update you not within the frequency of these 2 weeks. So I will update you as soon as possible if I have some news. But if the update really comes to 1 or 2 days before the this update, the regular frequency of updates, I'll make it on the 2 weeks. So yeah, I think it's easier for me to have that kind of schedules. And Aspire 9.3, and that's it. Only three. Hopefully, this will pique your interest. Especially, we have this SQL Server Management Studio version 21 directly inside the Visual Studio Store, so you have more visibility, more control of what's going on. And I think I already mentioned on my previous video of Belajar.NET in the episode 33, if I'm not mistaken. Since that episode, I'm going to start using Visual Studio version 17.14.4, and now I have 14.5 because it has many updates that is, to me, is very crucial, like updates on the security vulnerability fix. So if you look at the release notes here, there you are. So you have CVE, this remote code execution vulnerability, not just for the Visual Studio but also in .NET as well. This .NET, I think. Okay, let's see whether this is related to .NET Core or not. Is it? Oh, not found. Well, why? Okay, not found. Not found or not available. This kind of CVE should be made public. Okay, I'll try to submit a feedback. And the other thing is, yeah, on 17.14.4 is cannot complete a build when communicating with child process and type or namespace cannot be found error and Razor base model. I often use Razor and this is annoying. Unfortunately, this kind of bug happens since I use 17.4 internally. So I was using 17.13 for delivering Belajar NET videos before, and I start to use 17.14 to ensure that I will be ready to update to 17.14. But then this bug came out, and I think this also available in 17.13. But why I'm not having that kind of bug? Oh yeah, it's work in the 7.13. Yeah. So it's on the problematic on 17.14, and now it's being fixed in 17.14.4. Yep, that concludes my video. This video for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you enjoyed. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Feel free to share this video to your friends, and hopefully, if your boss needs some updates or easy updates on what's going on in Visual Studio and .NET, especially the .NET world, feel free to share my video, especially the playlist, to your boss and let me know the feedback. That will be interesting. Okay, I'll see you in next week. Don't forget that coding is happiness because you like it, because you enjoy it. I know that it may, make you feel um, happy because of the pay. I don't know, whatever for whatever reason, but to me, coding is happiness, and I always like to share my experience, my knowledge as soon as possible. And so this is my channel, Visual Studio untuk developer Indonesia. In English is Visual Studio for Indonesian developer, and you'll see the whole series of Belajar NET here. There's an update here, and yeah, I haven't uploaded, so episode 4, which is this video, haven't yet available in this playlist, but it will. Okay, I'll see you in next 2 weeks. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it if you will. That would also give me some new spirit or new initiative to create some more videos. But please don't ask me to create this kind of video every day because I have some day job. And of course, I would like to share to all of you. And of course, I will find some ways to create new videos in a more frequently way, like maybe not every day, of course, maybe 3 times a week. I'm not sure about that, but I would like to ask you if you really want to have that kind of frequency. Please comment. Please give me some feedback as well, and I would like to have more than one people, more than two, or at least 10 people, 10 10% that ask me, okay, let's have more frequency on the learning videos such as the Belajar.net. Belajar.net means learning.net in, and Belajar.net is in Indonesian language, because I have a mission to educate as much as possible Indonesian developer to get to know in .NET, and that also should decrease the false understanding of what .NET is like. They have some of them on the check facta. Check facta means fact check, and yeah, that's it. See you in the next video, and don't forget, I will also have HP.NET Core. I don't know whether it's MVC first or Razor first on the next week in the Belajar.net. So bye bye and have a nice week, all of you.